Kiki Benny.
Fuck it up, 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 yeah. Fuck it up, 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 yeah. Fuck it up, 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 yeah. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, yeah. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, yeah. Man, it's been a rough day. I don't know. I felt tired all day. I feel tired now. Man, it's kind of warm here. I need to
Kiki Benny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck it up, fuck it up. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. and I throw it at me and I throw it back. You throw it left and I throw it right. Like a knight, like I'm Michael Knight. I take flight. Throw it back, throw it right, throw it left, throw it right. Like, got a new kit like Michael Knight, and I got a new kit like Michael Knight. Sitting that right on white. Got a new kit like Michael Knight. My shit ain't black, this right on white. Right on white. Like right on rice. Things on your ass like right on rice. Right on rice. Things like right on right. Tell your ass like right on rice. Things cause I don't break. That's my style, man. I don't break. Simple that's just your bitch. Like
Just move this until. Oh, my bad. We do it like this, yeah, and we never ever miss, yeah, cause we coming with the hits, yeah. My homies do it for the South, that's where we came from. Keep that gold in the mouth. I use that bar so many times it's running out. It don't matter cause I'ma still use it how I want to. Feel the flow, get the groove, stay in the mood. When you in the stool, know how we do. Got a couple colors on the palette, about to move it through. Get the brush out, then we really make a move. Cause a few lines, and then a few more, a few bars, and then I do score. I hit the punchline, and I do rhyme. I keep it timing like this. Like, I love it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see if we can do it again. Cause I'm making them ends and I'm hanging with my mans. Cause we been here for a long time. And I fucking 40s now. And I got a long rhyme. And I tell a story now. Listen, met her shorty now. And she really feeling me. And I really feeling her. Since we got some chemistry. So I say if we can meet. Then we had a couple drinks. Then we really started to speak. Like every day of the week. Now she not my main girl. Come to my main world. And girl, and I make the toes curl, cause that shit is too good. Best thing I ever had, and I'm really, really glad. Man, I really miss that, but I never know that. Yeah, 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 yeah. One time with the the corner freestyles, and I one time with the corner freestyles, and I one time, yeah. I one time with the corner freestyles, and I one time with the corner freestyles, and I one time with the corner freestyles, and I one time. Yeah. It went back to finish that one? That's crazy. How did it not go to the next one? Kiki Benny with the beats. The bangers, the blazers, the fire, the bringer. The anguish, the torture, the danger, the name is. Ooh. When you see it, you hear it, you feel it, you fear it, you're running, your secrets get exposed when I come through and touch you in your nose, the barrel blow. Ooh. Another one, another story ends. I can't catch it. My bad. Yeah. And when you can't catch it though, that's when you force the flow. You gotta make it work. Mental gymnastics, man. Really put in that work. Cause if you don't have a strong vocabulary, then you can't but just plain words. Oh man. Hold up, I had a bar there. If you don't have a strong vocabulary, then you can't rhyme words that are secondary that don't really rhyme, but you can still force it. And of course, abortions, you getting scorched with some more torches. Doing Eminem, just force rhymes the word, force words to rhyme. Oh man. Oh, now that drink really kicking in. Oh, and you know that I'm your friend. They call me Superman. I get super head. You super dumb. You end up super dead. Don't test my squad. Know what we said. April 3. Until the day I'm dead. Rep that South Cat. We put it on the map. Them dirty boys stay on the dirt roads and act fucking fool. When we grab a and how we do, and we never follow rules, cause we spray call them after bend them, we send them tremendous, them ends be stupendous. Yeah, a word salad, and I kick a new ballad, but I don't blow, my shit still valid, I make it snow on the Aven, keep it moving through the summer months. I got that whole boy. What the fuck you want? A dab or a slab? You happy or you mad? Ooh. Yo, Peter, what's good, bro?
Kiki Benny.
Some new IRS shit. Nah, I ain't seen that shit yet. They always in our pockets, man, you know what I'm saying? They always trying to get it. Most people don't know that the IRS is a private company with shareholders. And they gotta mold us, control us with the dollars that owed us. Cause it smell real fishy, cause they gotta get every last fucking penny that we make. The more we earn, the more they take. IRS, International Revenue. Oh my god, bro. I gotta definitely write something about the IRS and UBIs and digital currency and all that shit, yo. Universal basic income. Universal basic income. Universal basic income. Universal basic income. The robots are gonna displace us, man. The AI are gonna overtake us, man. Then we won't have no jobs, so they think we are living like slobs, and they're gonna give us UBI and say take that. If we act crazy, then they really gonna take back every little thing, cause everything on the now fucking blockchain. Oh wait, it's everything on the blockchain. So if you complain about the things that they changed, then they can stop your currency with it. Oh, bro. Wait a minute. The robots are gonna replace us. The AI overtake us. What I say? The robots gonna replace us. AI overtake us. So they gotta give us UBI. Damn, I don't know how I can say that shit. I like that first part though. And then replace us, overtake us. So if you, what I say, something on the blockchain. So if you complain, blockchain, complain. The digital domain, complain, domain. Because they really try to stop us from making personal purchases and try to start a biz. Because everything on the blockchain, and if you complain, then they stop your, if you complain, then they stop your stock exchange. I don't know. It's something in there though. Things is getting crazy. Bro, this shit is, yo, man, the IRS and the motherfucking Federal Reserve are just fucking mafias, man. All this shit is mafia. I just like read the clip that shit said some shit about Cash App or PayPal, $600. They already did that this past tax season, but now they're just making it lower. It was like if you made more, I think the first one was like it was double. If you made more than $1,200 worth of transactions in the course of a year, you would have to pay taxes on that shit if it was profit or something. Or I don't even think it was profit. It was just like if it was just exchanged or something. Like, it's weird. Now that clip right there says $600. That's crazy, man. Yo, they're trying to make a larger poor class. So you got poor, and then you got you got the middle, and then the middle has three phases to it. You know, lower, middle, and upper middle class. And then you have the rich, and then you have the wealthy, and then you have the 1%, the uber wealthy, the hegemon, the elite, the elitist group. So, but they want less people in the middle. Less people in the middle and more people dependent upon them. Man, the way inflation is, I'll be able to qualify for fucking food stamps soon. Shit. I don't make enough fucking money. Like, I don't know what they expect people to do. But this shit is definitely getting crazy. Oh, you got ways to make your own money? Nah, 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 nah. What, you made $600 on your own? Nah, 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 nah. You know what? We can trace that now. We're tracking all your fucking digital accounts. All your digital transactions. Let me look at that. Look, 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 look. You made $800 on your fucking your PayPal say you made $800. Let me get some of that. You let me get like $60 out of that shit. Whew. Puff, I don't like it, bro. I do not like it at all, my G. You know why? Because last year and this year are my two slowest years as far as art sales in a long time, and I think it's going to be down for a while because people don't have extra income to spend on a lot of luxury items. And art is one of those luxury items that most people really don't think about as a major purchase or an investment. People don't really think of art as like, oh, I got to buy some original art, you know? So that's one. And now that people are worried about just finances in general, motherfuckers definitely not thinking about, oh, let me spend $800 on the painting. Let me spend $1,000 on the painting. Man, motherfuckers ain't got that shit. And they gonna, like I said, that shit gonna be like this for a while. So last year, I was just lucky enough to like not meet the qualifications that have to file taxes on my digital earnings. And luckily this year, I swear on everything I love, yo. I think I've sold like one piece of art this year, maybe. I'm trying to think, really. Like, I don't think I sold any art this year. I did some logos, if that counts. Um, but like a painting, a commission painting, nah. No, I have not. I have not sold a commissioned piece of art this year. So the signs are there. The signs are there. I was doing hella good for a long little minute right there, bro. I was doing hella good. I couldn't even paint for myself for a long time. I'm talking about for like months at a time. I couldn't even paint for myself because I had so many fucking commissions to work on. Now, nope. And it's not like new people aren't following my art. I still get new followers on all platforms. I even still pick up a new YouTube subscriber every now and again, and a new Instagram follower, but and I get it though, like cause I'm broke as shit. Man, I'm one paycheck away from being paycheck to paycheck. I'm one paycheck away from that shit. This is crazy. Especially when you try not to touch your savings and your investments and stuff. I be looking at my stocks like I can sell a little bit of this shit. I can sell a couple $100, you know what I'm saying? Get a couple $100 out this bitch. A little something. Let me get something back. Let me try to hold on to that shit. Like I said, when I had that unexpected dental issue just a couple weeks ago, and so I had some car issues before that. The car issues were kind of there already, and then I just decided that like I should just take care of it before it gets worse. And so that was like that was almost $500 worth for auto repairs. And then like the next week I had like a couple weeks later I my tooth chipped, and that was another 500. Like that was an unexpected $500. And I'm like, and then I paid my taxes. I was like, yo, wait a minute. Hey, you spent like $1,500 in a couple weeks. Then I started looking at my account, and it's just like, that shit is just weird because gas costs more, groceries cost more, and they keep putting the taxes up. The property taxes went up, school taxes went up a little bit. I got my recycling. I think we do like we only pay the recycling twice a year. But last year that shit went up, and that bill just came in the middle of the other day. And it's like y'all charging everybody more and more for every little thing, yo. Last year, the gas and electric went up. The electric company sent out a letter. We'll be charging you X amount more per kilowatt hour or something. I'm like, God damn, don't y'all already charge enough for this fucking electric? So, I swear, man, they've been doing this for 2 decades now. Really just squeezing the fuck out of people who are just able to not be in poverty. Like, I'm like right on the border of poor, motherfucker. Y'all just try to squeeze a motherfucker all the way down. That shit crazy. Yo, Manuel, what's up, bro? That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, when you had to put the cat in the shop, that should be just like bills out of like when you feel like you're doing good, it'd be all right. But then you get like a couple of unexpected bills back to back, then you be like, oh shit, wait a minute, slow down, motherfucker, slow down a little bit. I can't spend $1,000 every goddamn month. I don't got an extra $1,000 a month to blow. What? You know, that's how shit is now, man. Jesus Christ.
Up to 40 million Americans are going to be impacted, but most people, they just don't know it yet. The tax documents, they're going to be sent out in January, so we're talking about 4 months from now. And it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. So as a refresher, if you've been using PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, you're going to want to make sure that you understand the situation. If you receive $600 or more of qualifying transactions through a third-party payment processor, such as the ones that I just told you, then the IRS will get involved. You're going to receive a tax document. It's called a 1099-K. So here's what changed. It used to be a $20,000 threshold, but now they dropped it down to a $600 threshold. So first, let's do this. Let's clarify this. I'll give you an example to break this down for you. So let's just say that you had a garage sale, right? And you sold some furniture for $600 in total. I bought it from you. So I paid you $600. I paid you through PayPal or Cash App or Venmo. With the old rules, if this happened, then nothing would have happened because it's under the $20,000 threshold, and the IRS would have stayed out of it.
Yeah, and then
but now the rules have changed. They dropped the threshold.
Like I said, that shit was high as hell in the beginning, and then, like I said, I think it was just last year, they put it at, it was like some crazy shit, like $1,200 or something, or it was some extremely low shit, $2,000 or $1,200 or something, and it was like, oh, if you make this amount in transactions, you gotta file it. I'm like, that's when I was like, what the fuck? And I ain't even know it was fucking 20,000 at one time. I know it was enough where I never had to worry about that shit. And that's why I never mind being paid through those services. Because it's like, the IRS not tracking that shit. Like, fuck it, send me that shit up there. That shit tax-free money, they get. I don't run no business. I don't got no tax ID number, no LLC or none of that shit. So just run me the money through the app and we good. You got what you want. You got your art. I got paid. You happy, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? And then when, like I said, they popped off that shit talking about X amount of dollars, and I'm like, wait a minute, oh shit. Cause like I said, the year before last, I think the year right before, like 3 years ago, no, the year before COVID, like, that was, damn, that shit seems so long ago now. But like 19 and 20, yo, I sold an ass of fucking art, yo. I was booming. And I know I made more than $1,200 just through fucking paid services like that. I was booming like hell for a minute. But then, luckily, like, fortunate and unfortunate, when they announced that, when I heard like that newer low rate $2,000 or whatever, that was like the first year when I noticed shit started slowing down for me anyway. And so I didn't even qualify that year. I think that, like I said, it was last year. I was like, well, I'm good this year. But now it's even lower, and they realize like they can't catch enough people or fuck enough people up with their own personal private business that is, not traceable or trackable by the IRS. So now it's $600. If you do $600 worth of business, if you sell a furniture set, we're gonna get you. Give us our money. And it's like, damn, people. And also, they're really, this is another thing that's the issue is of moving away from cash. And that's the last thing. You can't trace cash. If you got cash and you pay me cash for something, that's a done deal. I'm not writing you no receipt. That's between me and you. But now it's so frequently, it's just easy to have your credit card or your debit card, and nobody really carries physical cash anymore. So like most personal transactions are still done like that through a third party. So now, I guess we just have to, I'm just ask people to give me a fucking money order, or I'll just wait for a money order in the mail, or send me a check, or meet in person and just pay me cash. Or don't. All right, wait a minute. But this is this is only if it's marked as a business transaction. Let me listen to what he says, because on some of these platforms you can just send it, like, I think it's like family or friends to friends or just sending somebody money without like purchasing something. So I can see like, okay, if you're using I use like some kind of storefront app. I can't even think of the one I use right now. Anyway, but you know, if I do have like a little digital online storefront where you can order um, my paintbrush holder and shit like that. And so yeah, that shit is connected to my PayPal. So if someone buys anything from there, it will go straight to my PayPal. But if someone says, "Hey, I want this painting," and I say, "Okay, well, cash app me," and they just send me cash app like friends to friends or family to family or whatever it says on there, without saying, "Oh, I'm buying something from you," then is that still a go or is that a no go? Because like if my grandma if it's my grandma's birthday, if it's my girlfriend's birthday, and I send her $600 on PayPal, is she responsible for paying taxes on that as a gift? As a gift, it doesn't count. Okay. So most of my transactions that I do, they're not like they don't have that business part attached to it. Most motherfuckers just send me straight money like it's a gift.
From $20,000 to $600. This is a big change. So in January, in this type of situation, you're going to get a tax form and you need to make sure that you properly report it. And if you don't, then you're going to have problems with the IRS. Now, let's address the problems. And there's going to be so many problems, but I'll just point out the most relevant one, the most common ones that will happen. So the first one is, I guarantee this is going to happen. So many innocent Americans, so many innocent taxpayers are going to get hurt. So I'll give you some examples. So let's just say that you sold a bunch of old clothing. So you sold some clothes for $600 in total. Okay, in this situation, you're going to receive a tax document saying that you have $600 of taxable income. All right, so you can say, Brian, listen, you only pay taxes on profits. So you sold that clothing for $600, right? But those old clothes, they probably cost you probably bought them new, and you probably bought them for a total of, let's just say, $1,000. So you bought that the clothing for $1,000, and then you sold it for $600. So you lost money on the transaction. And in that situation, again, you're not going to pay any taxes because you only pay taxes on your profits. So it sounds easy, that makes sense, but the question is, do you have the receipts? So in this situation, you sold $600 worth of old clothes. If you get audited, the IRS auditor will ask you to provide receipts for the clothing. If you fail to provide receipts, then it's going to look like, you got those clothes for free, and that $600 that you made was pure profit, and then you're going to have to pay taxes on that. But you might say, Brian, how am I supposed to come up with receipts for old clothes that you probably bought years ago, right? Well, the IRS is going to say that that's your problem, and you know what? You're guilty until you're proven innocent. That's how it works. And if you think that sounds unfair, if that's unreasonable, that's just the way it is. That's how the system works. You are guilty until you can prove yourself innocent. I'm sure that there's people that are watching that have been through an IRS audit, some IRS audit victims. They will confirm in the comments down below. This is how it works. That's the system. That's how it is. And if you say, okay, listen, Brian, only certain IRS agents would be that uptight and only certain agents would take it that far. Would basically be that extreme. Okay, so let's just say that you get lucky, you get a very understanding, and you get a sympathetic IRS agent. Well, you still have to suffer through the emotional damage and waste your time with an IRS audit, and obviously that's not cool. And trust me, these IRS audits, they drag out for months, and it's very stressful. During that whole time, you're just stressed out because it's hanging over your head. And I would tell you, good luck getting an understanding and a sympathetic IRS agent, because they love to go on power trips. So I know from experience. So I'm sure that there are some reasonable IRS agents. I'm sure that some of them, they do exist, but the odds are that you're not going to get one of those. And another thing is that I want to point this out, that most people don't realize that they're going to spend more money on their tax preparation fees. So do you use TurboTax? Do you use H&R Block? Do you use an accountant? So guess what? Any of those, they're going to charge you by the form, by the schedule, by the activity. It's just going to be an upcharge. You're going to end up paying more money for tax preparation services. If you get this tax document, it's called a 1099-K, your accountant or your software will charge you more. I just checked TurboTax. It's going to cost you an extra about $80 to $100. You can check it for yourself. An accountant is going to charge much more than that. So that's because you have to fill out additional schedules on your 1040. It's called the Schedule C. So you can try to put this 1099-K, you can try to put it into other income, but if you have offsetting expenses, then you can't do that. And that's going to be the situation in most of the cases. Apologize for nerding out, but it's just the way it is. Additionally, I want to say this because I know this is going to happen. This is inevitable. People are going to make errors with their 1099-K tax forms, and they're going to end up paying more taxes than they should unknowingly. Another thing that bothers me is that the IRS, so this is my opinion, they're wasting their resources. Well, I should say our resources, because they're going to be wasting taxpayer money going after these, what are these cases? $600 cases, $700, $800 cases. If, for example, if you sold Taylor Swift tickets on StubHub, you're probably going to get a 1099-K. The average price of a Taylor Swift ticket was $1,100. Okay, so the politicians decided to lower the threshold from $20,000 to $600. It was a big change. The reason was that they wanted to go after tax cheats. So that's the narrative. I don't know how efficient that this is going to be. I don't know if this is a good utilization or allocation of resources. I don't know if this makes sense, just generally speaking. So let me know your thoughts. But some people support this change. They're saying, the people that support this, they're saying no mercy. You got to pay your taxes. $600 is $600, right? So for example, if you're a teenage babysitter and you get paid by Venmo or Cash App, then you better not screw this up, kid, otherwise you're going to get audited. So did you sell some baby accessories on Facebook Marketplace? If you did, then you better dig up those receipts, just in case. If you have a garage sale, then you might want to consider asking for cash or other form of payments. If your kid has a lemonade sale,
Cash. That's what I'm saying.
tell them to stop sales at $599 because that's the maximum for the year, not for the day. Sales stops at $599 because remember, if you hit that $600 threshold, then you're going to be dealing with the IRS. So I would recommend that you tell your kids that the extra $1, it's not going to be worth the headache of dealing with the IRS. Just my opinion. Okay, so you have to remember that this is applicable to goods or services that are sold. Therefore, if you're simply just splitting the check at a restaurant, that is not a qualifying transaction, so you're going to be good in that case. If your parents are going to send you money, if they're helping out with rents or whatever it may be, that doesn't qualify either, so you're good there. Sending money for birthday presents, for graduation gifts, gifts in general, those are not qualifying transactions, so you're good there. However, it's very important, make sure that the sender, that could be, if you're the recipient, let them know, and if you're the sender, make sure you do this right. Make sure that the sender doesn't mess up the categorization when they send the money. Otherwise, it will trigger a tax form. So for example, when you send money through PayPal, PayPal is going to ask you to identify what this money is being sent for. Is this for a gift or is this for goods and services? So make sure that you pick the appropriate one. Mm-hmm. So I want to give you some workarounds. I'm just trying to help you. First, you could always use the loopholes. So this is not illegal. You're just using a different payment form, a different payment method. So for example, if you have a garage sale and the buyer wants to pay you through PayPal or Venmo or Cash App, instead you can ask for cash, you can ask for crypto or Zelle. So Chase QuickPay or Zelle is not considered a third-party transaction processor, and that will not trigger a 1099-K. Now, I want to read you this official statement from Zelle. Zelle payments are not subject to this law because Zelle facilitates messaging between financial institutions, but does not hold accounts or handle settlement of funds. So ultimately, Zelle does not fit the definition of a third-party payment processor. Therefore, Zelle is exempt from these IRS reporting requirements. So Zelle is not going to report these transactions to the IRS, and the 1099-K will not be issued. So ultimately, if you're passing money around for non-business purposes, then you don't have to worry about this, and you're going to be good. Unless there's reporting errors, and then you can get dragged into this erroneously, which is going to happen to some people, unfortunately. But if you're making some money off a side hustle, or if you're making some money off freelancing work or a gig, this is going to seriously affect you, and it is expected to affect millions of Americans. Now, I do want to mention this. I want to bring this up because it's very important. This rule was actually supposed to be implemented last year in 2022. However, the IRS said that the payment processors, as well as the recipients, they weren't ready for this.
I thought they did.
It got too complicated. It was close to the deadline at the end of the year. And then they decided to push this and delay it into 2023. So if you're expecting that this will get delayed again from 2023 to 2024, I don't think that's going to happen. It doesn't look like it. IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel said the threshold has changed from 20,000 to 600, and it goes live this year. So that was his latest statements regarding the subject matter. So the politicians are attempting to raise the threshold from $600 to $10,000. They're not trying to revert it back to 20,000. They're just trying to find the middle ground, 10,000. But if you've been following the developments in DC and Congress, you know that they have bigger fish to fry at the moment. So it doesn't look like this is going to change by January. Just my honest assessment. Okay, so that's the situation with the 1099-K, the $600 threshold. Please let me know what you think about the situation. I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, and I wish you a very nice day. Take care.
It's bullshit. That's what I think about it. What the fuck you think I'm supposed to think about that shit, my guy?
To keep customers happy,
Try Zoho Desk.
reach customers
Man,
at
that
the right
shit wild,
time
bro.
on the channel of their choice.
They can't let a motherfucker have
Right
nothing.
context.
That is the wildest shit, bro. You can't have shit. Pay your fucking taxes. Man, these motherfuckers, I've already paid my taxes every time I buy something. I'm paying taxes. You already taxed my motherfucking wages. And everything else I fucking own. God damn. I want your side hustle too. My side hustle? Nigga, you don't even supposed to know about that. If you make more than $600, I'll know about it. Oh my God, bro. Can a nigga live, yo? Can I breathe a little bit? Damn. Nigga just, look, I can't even get a whole breath. You're making my throat hurt. Man. You're a slave, Neo. Take the red pill. You wake back up in your bed like nothing ever happened. No, no, the blue pill or red pill. Red pill, what? Red pill bring you out. Blue pill put you back to sleep. Oh boy. They yo, once again, man, they're trying to break. They're trying to break anybody who's making the smallest smidget of leadway. They don't want you to get there. As soon as you make a little more, you got to pay extra. They're like, why? Why can't it just shit be stable for a minute? Can't y'all
Are
just
furious about this new product that's going viral.
Can't y'all hold
Replace
still
your
for a
whole roof
second?
in as little as 8 hours?
Robotic mech, and new threats of artificial intelligence. This and other technological.
Man, my child support ended, and I swear to God, it don't even feel like it. I get a whole paycheck now, and that shit still feel like broke. Like, wait a minute, don't I supposed to have like extra money? I still ain't got extra money.
For the entire month of September in one video.
I don't think this how the shit supposed to be, man.
Soon we will finally see the results of implanting the Neuralink chip into the human brain. The company has started selecting the first patients who must be over 22 years old and suffer from forelimb paralysis or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Having a full-time caregiver is also an important criterion. The clinical trial, called PRIME, has 3 goals. The first is to test the implant itself, called N1. The second goal is to test the R1 surgical robot, which is specifically designed to implant the chip. And the third is to test the neural interface application that recognizes and decodes brain signals. The point of the trial is to help paralyzed people regain control of their limbs using computers and other devices. Voluntary participants in the PRIME experiment will have to first meet with scientists 9 times over 18 months, and then spend at least 2 hours a week at sessions to study the neural interface. After that, there are more than 20 visits to doctors over the next 5 years. During the trials, all incidental expenses, such as travel to the research center, will be reimbursed to the volunteers by Neuralink. In the meantime, against the backdrop of this news, the investigation against the company over the suspected deaths of some 1,500 test animals and improper disposal of biological waste is once again being widely discussed online. The unpleasant news for all Musk fans is that the second launch of Starship may be postponed for months, and it's all because of officials. The FWS, or Fish and Wildlife Service, hasn't started the official review, which can take anywhere from 30 to 135 days. And the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, won't issue a launch license until the FWS inspection is complete. Recall that the inspection is necessary because of the change the company made after the first failed launch. SpaceX changed the system of remote flight abort and made about 1,000 more changes in the device of the ship and upper stage. In addition, the company took measures to prevent repeated destruction in the launch area. Steel plates were secured on the launch pad, under which a liquid cooling system was placed. It's done pretty well during tests so far. Powerful water pressure perfectly dampens the fire impact from the work of 33 Raptor engines. Now the FWS must evaluate how it will affect the environment, but is in no hurry to do anything about it. Similarly, officials have also delayed Starship's first launch. In other news, Elon Musk has a new biography out, and it spotlights a robo-auto concept. Now fans are wondering if it's an early prototype of the Cybertruck or a new robotaxi concept. The 2-door and seemingly 2-seat electric compact car is possibly made of stainless steel, and from the biography, we know that Musk, despite the resistance of engineers, insisted that the robotaxi does not have a steering wheel and pedals. On the initial concept, these details are completely absent. Earlier, Musk has already announced that 2 new models will be in the Tesla lineup. One should be an electric car with a price of only $25,000, and the second should be some form of robotaxi. It was also mentioned that the design of the new autos could be closer to the Cybertruck than to the Tesla's earlier model. Musk also told Tesla's board of directors that he is taking on all the risk of designing and producing autos without steering wheels and pedals. He stated, "We're betting everything on autonomy." In his conversation with his biographer, Isaacson, the entrepreneur said this product is what will make Tesla a $10 trillion company. "People will be talking about this moment for 100 years from now," said the Tesla CEO. What do you think? Is Musk a genius visionary, or is he dreaming too big? In the issue down in the link, we talked about what humanity will be like in 2050, and mentioned baby factories in particular. Now, the first step towards them is about to be taken. So doctors in the United States are preparing to test the very artificial uterus for carrying children. So far, the technology is not able to ensure carrying children from conception to birth, but should increase the chances of healthy development for premature babies born between 22 and 28 weeks. As conceived, premature babies should be placed in a biobag that's filled with electrolytes that mimic amniotic fluid. The blood vessels of the umbilical cord are connected to a system that provides oxygen to the blood. Trials on lambs have been successful. Now, researchers at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia are seeking approval for the first human clinical trials.
Not Philadelphia.
Agility Robotics has announced the construction of the world's first humanoid robot.
That baby factory, artificial womb shit, that's just a way to steal people's kids, man. Some girl go in there and be like, oh, I want to have an abortion. Okay. And they take that damn thing out and put it in the artificial womb and grow that baby and sell that baby or some shit. Or they tell some lady, you know, a pregnant lady who's thrilled and excited about having her first child, but there are some medical complications early on. She goes to the hospital, heavy bleeding and a lot of pain, and they say, oh, you lost the baby. And then in actuality, they done stole the baby and putting it in the damn artificial womb and letting that shit grow, sell on the black market. I'm thinking about the darkest things that can happen with this shit, man. It's an easy way to steal motherfucking kids before they even born. Oh, your baby died in labor. Or you had a miscarriage. But did she really? Where that baby at? Let me see. I want to see it.
Factory. The 6,500 square meter factory will be located in Oregon and will be able to produce about 10,000 units of Digit's humanoid robots per year. Moreover, it's assumed that the robots will come off the assembly line and will work together with humans in the same factory. I wonder where the other thousands of robots will go, though. RoboFab will be completed this year, and the first delivery of robots to customers will begin in 2024. That being said, the robot won't enter the general market until 2025. In the first year, the company...
Damn. The easy way of organ harvesting. Yep. See, that shit ain't... And we not evil people. But we can think of some shit just as easy. You know what I'm saying? This shit in the hands of the wrong people, man, you can easily just think of some evil ass shit, man. Like that shit don't sound right. An artificial womb? Come on now. What you really gonna do with that thing? You gonna be stealing babies and growing them for organs or some shit, man? Cause y'all been known to do some crazy shit like that. Those are the stories I've heard. So I don't trust you right away.
He plans to produce about 100 robots and then increase production to 10,000. Recall that Digit is a bipedal and two-armed robot with a height of about 175 centimeters and a weight of about 65 kilograms. It can carry loads weighing up to 16 kilograms and hands gripped with new grippers, autonomously go to charge, and work 16-hour days, which is equivalent to 2 full-time shifts. The leg design allows the robot to squat low and maintain its balance while lifting heavy objects. Also, when pushed hard, the robot will simply take a big step backward to keep its balance. Digit has LiDAR, and its head is also designed to provide visibility to communicate with the user. The robot can be hard programmed to perform various tasks and can also be controlled from a tablet. However, engineers are now actively experimenting with using artificial intelligence and large language models to get the robot to program itself in response to verbal commands in natural language. Interestingly, another company, Chinese startup Fourier Intelligence, has promised to deliver 100 humanoid robots to customers this year. Their GT1 robot is still more of a research robot, but it also claims to be a universal worker in the future. All in all, the trend of replacing labor with robots is in full view.
Yo. The robot's gonna replace us, the AI gonna overtake us. I'm telling you, man, These motherfuckers, oh, we're gonna start out with 1,000, but then we're gonna get 20,000 of these motherfuckers, man. We just gonna have a whole factory running automation and robots and AI, man. Get the fuck out of here. We don't need humans no more. Humans making humans obsolete. It's the weirdest thing. Oh, and we're using the LLMs to let the robots train themselves. What a tangled web we weave.
Cancer is a long journey. It's overwhelming, but you just have to put your mind to it and fight.
It doesn't feel good because you can't play outside with other children.
As a parent, it is.
Another robot revolution is being planned by Toyota. Its new approach to training robots with artificial intelligence in the real world can help robots master any task in a matter of hours. And it's really incredible, as it could make all those humanoid robots that a dozen companies, including Tesla, are about to release really smart and useful. This feels like a ChatGPT moment for robotics. A new learning system unveiled by scientists at the Toyota Research Institute allows robots to solve a number of complex tasks with 2 hands using common human tools. Essentially, where large language models such as ChatGPT can assimilate billions of human written words and learn to write and code at a level remarkably close to a human, the new learning method allows AI robots to observe how a human performs a given physical task.
What the fuck is going on out there?
And then essentially program themselves to flexibly perform the task. The training is based on the operator receiving haptic feedback from the robot's soft grippers, allowing them to feel what the robot feels when its arm makes contact with an object. Once a human operator shows the robot how to perform a task several times under slightly different conditions, the robot's AI builds its own internal model of what success and failure looks like, and then runs thousands of similar processes into the simulation to determine for itself how to perform such work. So far, the team has used this approach to quickly train the bots on more than 60 small tasks. Toyota also says it will have hundreds of tasks under its control by the end of the year, and it plans to have more than 1,000 tasks under its control by 2024. So the company is developing what it believes will be the first large behavioral model that will eventually expand to become something like the embodied robotic equivalent of ChatGPT. Humanoid robots, it seems, will soon populate the entire planet. Apptronik has introduced another one to the public. Meet Apollo, a cute and friendly-looking robot that aims to drive humans out of the labor market. Aww. The robot is 173 centimeters tall and weighs 73 kilograms and can run up for 4 hours on a single replaceable battery. It can also carry loads weighing up to 25 kilograms, which is 25% more than the already announced warehouse and enterprise robots from Tesla and Figure. The robot is safe to work around people and can come in a variety of configurations. As a full-size humanoid, as an upper torso with arms mounted on a cart, or as a stationary torso version that can be plugged into a power source at the workplace. Apollo is sharpened for crate work, specifically loading and unloading vans, carts, pallets, and shelves. But in the future, the company expects to expand its use to any human task. Basically, it's the same stuff we've heard many times before from other developers. That said, Apptronik has a goal to create a production version by the end of 2024 and make the robot commercial by 2025. But that's not all. It was recently revealed that Apollo is going to the moon. Not that it's going right now, but developers at Apptronik are working with NASA to customize its space missions. Apparently, to show what the space agency expects from the robot, Apptronik engineers were shown the Valkyrie robot, a humanoid bot that has been in development for years specifically for NASA, but has never undergone any serious testing. Apollo, on the other hand, is supposed to be an assistant to the astronauts, living either on the space stations or in orbit or bases on the moon or Mars. At this time, no further details are available. From what is known, NASA wants to expand the robot's autonomy and maneuverability. Do you think the humanoid form is relevant for space stations? Google DeepMind co-founder and AI field pioneer Mustafa Suleyman has spoken aloud what many people have been thinking, that the development and availability of artificial intelligence could have serious consequences. Specifically, he said, there's a risk that the engineered synthetic pathogens could be accidentally or deliberately designed to be more infectious. Viruses modified with AI could spread faster and be more deadly. Suleyman emphasizes that working with such technologies requires limited access and calls for the adoption of deterrence strategy against AI, similar to what NATO applies to the nuclear weapons. The former top Google executive who founded the new company Inflection AI made his stance clear at the AI Summit in Washington, D.C., which was also addressed by industry leaders including Sam Altman, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates. Details about the summit are still scarce, but it's reported that Musk raised questions about the existential risk associated with AI. Zuckerberg raised the issue of closed and open source models of AI, and Gates talked about how AI can be used to feed the hungry. IBM CEO Arvind Krishna disagreed with the other company's proposals requiring license. Overall, almost everyone agreed that regulation is necessary, but how to implement it is still an open question.
People everywhere, they're watching.
You ready for an adventure?
Say yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
As you can see, we're on fire.
You realize what you set in motion?
May the force be with you!
This is what revolution looks like.
Oh my God!
When you're launching a new product with a tight deadline,
2 weeks?
Grammarly's tone suggestions can help motivate your team with a positive approach. Because you know we got work to do. Looking good, team. When it's time to pitch your product to clients, a more personable and friendly approach can help sell it. And look, they bought it all. With Grammarly, getting the tone just right makes a big impact on your team's success. Click the blue button to download Grammarly today.
Deep Robotics unveiled its humanoid bot for the first time at a robot exhibition in China. Unfortunately, nothing is known about the bot yet except the name, Wukong 4, which hints that there are at least 3 more previous versions of the robot in Deep Robotics labs. Judging by the lack of data, the robot is still in the early stages of development and can't boast of anything yet. Its existence only proves that the trend for humanoids continues to gain momentum. By the way, you can watch the full review of the robot exhibit at the link down below. Engineers at the Korea Institute of Advanced Science and Technology have unveiled the world's first humanoid robot pilot with artificial intelligence, PiBot. It can be placed in the pilot seat without modifying the cockpit of an airplane and launched into independent flight. The robot can both operate by hand with all the switches and memorize flight charts from around the world and emergency protocols. This should allow PiBot, equipped with ChatGPT technology and a camera, to analyze the situation inside the cockpit, to fly without errors, and react to different situations faster than human pilots. By the way, with the help of a camera, the robo-pilot also analyzes the environment outside the cockpit. We're waiting for the first real flight of PiBot, which they plan to start selling to civilians and military in 2025. Who would you trust more, a live pilot or a robot? Obviously a live pilot, I'm not insane. Japanese company Tsubame Juice has unveiled a 4.5-meter tall robot called Arcax, which you can buy yourself for only $2.7 million. The machine is controlled by a human and can operate in 2 modes. In robot mode, where you can control all the moving parts of the bot, and in car mode, when Arcax assumes a more stable posture, can drive quite sharply. The 3.5-ton robot is made of iron and aluminum alloy and is powered by an electric car battery. Like a car, it has front steering and rear-wheel drive and can move at 2 kilometers an hour in robot mode and 10 kilometers an hour in car mode. The pilot controls the robot from the cockpit using joysticks, pedals, and a touchpad. There are a total of 4 monitors and 9 cameras in the robot's body. The robot can also be controlled remotely. The joints of Arcax's entire body have 26 degrees of freedom, and in addition, there are rocking suspensions on the front and rear wheels. The robot's arms are quite functional and can hold objects weighing up to 15 kilograms. The creators are counting on super-rich buyers from abroad and plan to produce at least 5 robots. What other uses do you think a machine could have besides robot fights? It's no secret that China plans everything in advance: the economy, political strategy, and now the exploration of the solar system. Yes, the Celestial Empire seems to have big plans for it. Thus, the strategy includes a program for the use of space resources, covering not only the nearest regions of space, but also the furthest fringes. All stages of creating a large-scale infrastructure are described in detail: mining and processing station, transportation routes, and service complexes. All this isn't planned to be created until 2100. The first of 4 stages of the program provides the construction of water-ice mining stations on the moon, which will be used to make rocket fuel. Thus, the moon will become a transfer point on the way to asteroids, Mars, and natural satellites of Jupiter. The authors propose to locate the distribution nodes and the Lagrange points between the Earth and the moon, the Sun and the Earth, and the Sun and Jupiter. The U.S. is preparing an army of autonomous robots to confront China. This is reported by New Atlas. In the next 2 years, the Pentagon is going to adopt thousands of autonomous combat systems, launching a special initiative called Replicator. It plans to create a large number of affordable military equipment for all branches of the military. In other words, we're talking about cheap, effective, disposable vehicles suitable for combat operations on land, sea, air, and space without human involvement. A beverage company has appointed a robot as its experimental CEO. Mika was originally planned to be given the job of analyzing and identifying potential customers, but her duties have now expanded to include selecting artists to design custom bottles. As the robot itself states, "My decision-making process relies on extensive data analysis and the alignment with the company's strategic goals. It is devoid of personal bias, providing unbiased and strategic choices that put the best interests of the organization first." But is this really the case, or is it a PR stunt? The robot is designed by Hanson Robotics and is essentially the sister of the Sophia robot. But we all remember that when Sophia became an internet sensation, the developers also claimed that it had AI, even though it wasn't true. So what can Mika actually do? We looked through all the notes about the robot in the media and found not a single mention of the robot's real abilities, except that it does not get sick and it can be on call 24 hours. The representatives of the company did not hide that they were inspired by the examples of Elon Musk, who very skillfully advertises his company by attracting attention to his own person. Apparently, they decided to follow the same path. High-speed drone racing recently experienced a shocking deep blue moment when an autonomous artificial intelligence developed by researchers at the University of Zurich made 3 world champions eat dust, demonstrating uncanny accuracy in dynamic flight. AI has long beaten humans in games, where you can win by analyzing millions of previous plays and possible moves. But in physical sports like drone racing or Formula 1, humans are still in the lead. Or rather, they're still leading. Swift's system was first trained in simulation. Then engineers added real-world flight data, such as air turbulence, visual signal degradation, and other uncertainties that distinguish simulation from the real world. The training took an hour, and then the system, which used, like humans, a single-view camera, surprised everyone. Moreover, the fastest lap of the AI-controlled drone was half a second faster than the best lap completed by a human, which is an eternity in high-speed racing. But the AI triumph wasn't final. When they added sunlight to the track, humans were able to adapt to it, while Swift was not. All in all, we have a chance against AI, but that's for now.
Pella fiberglass window material is impact resistant, warp resistant, and fade resistant, and it's 10 times stronger than Anderson Vibrex. Pella window replacement on sale now.
Frank Zapata, who gained fame for inventing and flying the flyboard, unveiled a hybrid single-seat eVTOL of his own design. The prototype has been named the Air Scooter. The device has a cruising speed of 80 kilometers an hour, a maximum speed of 100 kilometers an hour, and can stay in the air for up to 2 hours thanks to a hybrid drive system, 4 large propellers on turbocharged internal combustion engines are used as the main thrust, and 8 smaller propellers powered by electricity are responsible for stabilization. According to the official classification, the air scooter, weighing only 115 kilograms, is classified as an ultralight aircraft, which exempts it from full certification and a pilot obtaining a license. It is expected to be as easy to fly this eVTOL as a drone. An advanced flight control system and a large number of safety sensors that will avoid collisions with obstacles are responsible for this. The device is expected to go on sale in the US soon. Scientists and others have long dreamed of smart contact lenses that give people superpowers, from enhanced vision to displaying important information in front of the user's eyes. However, the technology has a big problem. It's miniaturization of all elements, including the battery. The biggest problem is with the power source, which must keep the device running for a long time, otherwise the whole idea is pointless. And now scientists from Singapore seem to have solved this problem. They've developed a battery that is charged from the user's tears, and it charges so well that it can provide 12 hours of power. The device is only 0.5 millimeter thick, and it contains water and a coating of a special enzyme called glucose oxidase. When the flat, flexible battery is immersed in basal tear fluid that coats our eyes, the enzyme reacts with sodium and chloride ions in that fluid, generating an electrical charge. In laboratory tests conducted on a simulated human eye, the battery was able to deliver a current of 45 microamps and a maximum power of 201 microwatts. At the same time, the battery can withstand up to 200 charge-discharge cycles. Well, the future is just around the corner. OpenAI announced the 3rd version of its generative AI for creating pictures and paintings, DALL-E 3. It integrates with ChatGPT, so users no longer have to think about long, detailed prompts. They will now be written by a neural network. The new version of DALL-E will be made available to ChatGPT Plus and ChatGPT Enterprise users in October. It will then be opened up to research labs and the API service. There's no word yet on the release of the free public version, but it's reported that this time the company has seriously backed up and developed security measures to ensure that its AI is not used for obscene or unethical images. The system is based on stop words. We'll see how quickly it gets hacked if DALL-E does become publicly available. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and write in the comments what news you found most important and interesting. See you soon.
In 2014, Elon Musk claimed that AI could pose a greater threat than nuclear weapons.
The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads, by a lot.
It leads growing concerns among scientists about the need for AI regulation. But there's an even more unsettling development on the horizon: quantum computers. Experts anticipate these superpowered machines will soon become accessible to everyone. The question that arises is, what happens when AI and quantum computing join forces?
Quantum computers is the wild card. It could be a game changer. It could change the entire landscape of artificial intelligence.
Could it be possible that the combination of quantum computer and AI really reach such a potent level? There is a competitive race among industry tech leaders to launch the first viable quantum computer, a device that promises to be significantly more powerful than current classical computers. When the Wright brothers were pioneering the concept of flight, their initial attempts weren't immediately faster than a horse. In fact, a horse could have outrun their first powered flights. But what set airplanes apart wasn't merely the quest for speed. It was about introducing an entirely new mode of travel. An airplane is more than just a faster horse. It's a completely different type of machine. It takes advantage of the higher dimension right above us, the sky. This gives us access to a resource that was previously untapped. Scientists suggest that the development of quantum computing is just like this leap from horse to plane. A quantum computer is not merely a faster classical computer. It's a different type of machine that takes advantage of the quirky, counterintuitive, and the untapped phenomena of quantum mechanics. This is its higher dimension. Imagine a computer so powerful it can simulate novel materials to sequester carbon from our atmosphere. A machine that can develop affordable fertilizers that save energy and conserve fossil fuels. Or one that can tackle problems so complex that traditional supercomputers struggle under their enormity.
That's kind of a crazy sounding idea, but a quantum computer perhaps can harness that by doing some calculations over here and other calculations over there in parallel. Now it's doing, in some sense, twice as many calculations as a classical computer existing in one world would be able to do.
This might seem like a fantasy, like a dream from a sci-fi story. But one company has made this vision a reality. This is IBM's quantum-centric supercomputer. This remarkable creation is a striking testament to human ingenuity. It stands ready to revolutionize our comprehension of computing power. This incredible 100,000 cubic supercomputer doesn't just represent a shift in paradigm. It's a monumental event, a quantum jolt that shakes the industry. That's why there are literally tens of thousands of the world's brightest minds trying to build these machines and understand them. And it seems that the scientific community is split into two passionate factions when it comes to this field. The first group is utterly fascinated by the physics involved. Here's a quote from David Deutsch, one of the respected scientists in this field. Quantum computation will be the first technology that allows useful tasks to be performed in collaboration between parallel universes, quote unquote. Imagine a world where all known laws of physics as we know them apply, but different choices were made. Choices varying from the movements of tiny microscopic particles to what you chose for lunch, or whether you decided to watch this video or not. Quantum mechanics proposes a peculiar prediction that all of these realities are as real as the one we remember. It's strange because we don't see these alternate realities, but we've reached a point in science where we can construct machines that leverage these other worlds.
What makes Thanksgiving special? For Ilka, it's making her family and friends feel welcome.
They call me the grandma of the world. If you were over and playing with us, you were part of our family.
Then there's the second group, mainly from computer science. They would argue a quantum computer could solve problems that even the most advanced conventional computers can't, no matter how sophisticated. Some problems are just beyond them, but it's not the case for a quantum machine. Now you might be thinking, all this sounds fascinating, but isn't it just theory and speculation? Isn't it similar to other futuristic ideas we've heard about? Things that physics might allow but haven't been realized yet? Well, quite a number of these machines have already been deployed. They're present in research centers open to the public, following the model that first introduced supercomputers to the world. Who doesn't know Google's Sycamore? This processor is a step forward in quantum computing, achieving the so-called quantum supremacy. A team from Caltech has even put their wormhole teleportation protocol using this computer. After Google announced its Sycamore processor, scientists in China made another surprising news in quantum computing. They built the world's strongest quantum computer, the Zhujiang computer.
Chinese scientists have announced their development of the most powerful quantum computer in the world. It works 100 trillion times faster than the fastest supercomputers out there.
It took less than a second for a task that the fastest classical supercomputer in the world would take nearly 5 years to solve. The team says the device could be applied to data mining, network analysis, and chemical modeling research. President Xi Jinping has said that research and development in quantum science is an urgent matter of national concern, and the country has invested heavily in this technology, spending billions in recent years. From the outside, quantum computers look like enormous black monoliths, giant metal boxes about 10 feet wide and 12 feet tall. They're powered internally by a fridge, a refrigerator that chills the chips to nearly absolute zero. It's literally hundreds of times colder than the vast interstellar space. This is amongst the coldest and extreme conditions that humans have managed to create. These fridges have a component called a pulse tube. It emits a sound about once per second, which sounds eerily similar to a heartbeat. Standing next to one of these machines is truly mesmerizing. And at the heart of this giant box is a tiny chip, about the size of your thumbnail. This chip carries all the wonder and magic that makes this machine operate. We won't delve into the mathematical details of how it all works, but we will offer a roundabout way of understanding this. Imagine that parallel universes do exist. So you have two universes that are exactly identical in every aspect, from the vast horizon to the tiniest atomic detail, but with only one difference. And that difference lies in the value of a tiny element called qubit. A qubit is somewhat like a transistor in a classical computer. It has two distinct physical states, which we label as 0 and 1. In a regular computer, these states are mutually exclusive. That means the device can either be one or the other, and never anything else. But in a quantum computer, this device can be in a strange situation where these two parallel universes have a nexus point. As you increase the number of these devices, every added qubit doubles the number of accessible parallel universes. So when you have a chip like this with about 500 of these bits, you have something like 2 to the 500th power of these parallel universes existing within that chip. We can think of it as the shadows of these parallel worlds overlapping with ours. If we're smart enough, we can dive into them and bring them back to our world to make an effect. Quantum algorithms take advantage of the entanglement and parallelism of qubits. This gives them a considerable edge over traditional algorithms for specific problem domains. They also get information from qubits at the end of a calculation. But this presents a unique challenge. When you measure qubits, they collapse into a single state, which eliminates their superposition and entanglement. So quantum algorithms use advanced techniques to draw meaningful results from measurements before this collapse happens, which would then maximize the benefits of computation. And in fact, we have a trend in quantum computing similar to Moore's law. The number of qubits on a chip has doubled every year for the last 9 years.
If you put it on a chart, you can actually see where certain technologies kicked in, where people were ahead of the game or behind the 8 ball and lost out by simply looking at Moore's law.
This exponential growth opens up unprecedented capabilities, not just in the realm of processing speed, but also in the exploration of fundamental quantum phenomena. Such a strange quantum phenomenon has truly exemplified the potential of this. It's called quantum teleportation. Back in 1999, Isaac Chuang and his team at IBM successfully implemented the quantum teleportation protocol. It is a technique for transferring quantum information from one place to another remotely using entanglement. But what does that really mean? Can we teleport people like we've seen in Star Trek? In principle, quantum teleportation needs quantum entanglement to ensure that the state of one particle is instantly transferred to another, no matter the distance. So the particle itself doesn't travel, only its state or information. This idea was first put forward by 6 scientists, one of them being Charles Bennett in 1993. Isaac Chuang put this theory into practice just 6 years later. But you might ask, why do we even need this special process? Why can't we just copy things like we do on regular computers? Let's demonstrate how it might work. Imagine you're trying to teleport a baseball from California to New York. So first, you entangle 2 baseball particles in California. This allows for information sharing, but it's not teleportation yet. Next, you measure 1 particle, producing 2 bits of data and making the baseball disappear from California. You send these bits to New York at the speed of light, say via fiber optics. Once there, these bits help recreate the baseball. And that's it. The baseball's information has moved from California to New York without being duplicated. Even so, scientists still have a lot to figure out. 2 big issues are how to keep quantum information safe when we create entanglement, and secondly, how to send quantum bits over long distances without losing any data.
We do expect to be able to teleport molecules, maybe water, carbon dioxide, maybe even DNA, maybe organic molecules. Now, to teleport a human raises all the ethical questions because the original, first of all, has to be destroyed in the process of quantum teleportation.
With quantum entanglement, your message is linked to another one and can change the other message instantly, no matter how far apart they are. So when someone tries to intercept this transmission, they would mess up the quantum state of the particles, and we would immediately spot it. It's a big step forward for keeping information safe in the world of quantum computing. Before we dive into what artificial intelligence and quantum computers can achieve, let's first explore the brief history of quantum physics. Quantum computing has deep roots that trace back to the early 20th century. The journey began with the revolutionary work of Max Planck in quantum theory, and continued with many critical milestones.
crazy, bro. You done played around with some crazy ass shit, man. I don't know. I kind of understand quantum entanglement. I remember this one guy was showing like basically levitation using quantum locking. And yeah, but I don't understand quantum computing. And that you can motherfucking teleport actual molecules. That's a wild ass concept. But isn't that like the movie The Fly? When he built the little teleportation machine that was basically like quantum displacement or some shit. And then like the dude just said, like if the signal gets messed up in transit, and what messed his signal up was the fucking fly.
Planck introduced the idea of quantized energy, which set the groundwork for quantum theory. His theory suggested that energy isn't continuous, but comes in discrete packets, which is known as quanta. It explained the concept of black-body radiation in a way no other theory could. Building on Planck's theory, Albert Einstein presented a bold idea in 1905. It is known as the photoelectric effect. He proposed that light has a dual nature, behaving as both particles and waves. He suggested that light's energy is also quantized into discrete packets, which we now call photons. Niels Bohr took quantum theory a step further in 1913 with his model of the hydrogen atom. He theorized that electrons exist in specific energy levels, or orbits, around an atomic nucleus. According to Bohr, these electrons can shift between these levels by either absorbing or emitting energy.
Fed butter. This is why you feel weird after eating butter.
Grass-fed butter. You go, whoa, grass-fed butter. Dr. Gundry likes grass-fed. Even though it's pasture-raised or grass-fed doesn't mean it's good for you. Unfortunately, you got to know the breed of the cow. And this particular brand has...
In 1925, Wolfgang Pauli introduced the concept of quantum superposition. He proposed that particles could exist in multiple states at once, with their precise properties only determined when observed. Werner Heisenberg expanded on this idea in 1927 with the uncertainty principle. This principle states that you can't simultaneously know certain pairs of properties, such as position and momentum, of a quantum particle. In 1935, a game-changing paper by Albert Einstein, Boris Podolsky, and Nathan Rosen was published. This paper, known as the EPR paper, introduced the concept of entanglement. And like we mentioned in the previous chapter, it is a strange but fundamental aspect of quantum mechanics, where two or more particles are intertwined. Fast forward to 1951, when Alan Turing first proposed the idea of quantum computing. Turing envisioned a machine operating on quantum mechanical principles, which could outperform classical computers.
He created a Turing
But for several decades, this concept remained mostly theoretical due to the challenges of practical implementation. Significant progress was made in the 1970s by physicist Richard Feynman. He recognized that quantum systems could simulate physical systems, which are tough to model with classical methods. Feynman proposed a universal quantum simulator, a machine that can accurately replicate any physical system. In 1982, physicist Paul Benioff put forward the concept of a quantum Turing machine. This theoretical model operates on quantum principles. The 1980s also saw the birth of quantum algorithms. A physicist by the name of David Deutsch also came up with the concept of a quantum algorithm. He proposed that a quantum computer could tackle certain problems faster than traditional computers. He introduced what's now called the Deutsch algorithm. In 1994, Peter Shor made a significant breakthrough with Shor's algorithm. It was able to show how quantum computers could efficiently solve integer factorization problems. What made this so groundbreaking was its potential threat to the security of public key encryption systems, since it could crack classical encryption algorithms. When it comes to experimental progress, various research groups made important strides in creating quantum computers and exploring different uses for qubits. One key development was a collaboration between Google, NASA, and D-Wave Systems. Together, they launched the D-Wave 2 quantum computer in 2013. This was one of the first commercially available quantum computers. What set it apart was its use of a different approach known as adiabatic quantum computing. By using superconducting qubits, it was designed to solve optimization problems. In 2016, IBM grabbed the spotlight by introducing the IBM Quantum Experience. This was a cloud-based platform where users could experiment with a small quantum computer made up of 5 superconducting qubits. Their goal was to give more people access to quantum computing and to encourage collaboration within the quantum community. With the IBM Quantum Experience, researchers and enthusiasts around the world could study quantum algorithms and conduct experiments from anywhere. Then in 2017, we saw a major milestone with the demonstration of qubits that could correct their own errors. Physicists at Yale University came up with a breakthrough design known as the surface code. This allowed them to create logical qubits with the ability to correct errors. It was a key step to reaching the goal of fault-tolerant computing, where information can be kept safe from errors and decoherence. Companies like Google are pushing hard to build practical and market-ready quantum computers. This surge is not merely an effort to ramp up computational speed. It's about paving the way for a future where the boundaries of technology are redefined.
I've been getting paid over $10,000 per month in passive income from YouTube just for this one little YouTube channel that only has 200 subscribers. What a lot of people don't know is that right now you can actually make money on YouTube using other people's subscribers, meaning the YouTube channels that other YouTubers have already spent the time building for you. This means you can actually make YouTuber money without having to go through the months or years of expensive trial and error of trying to build your own following and your own channel from scratch, which we all know how difficult that can be. My name is Lucas Lee Tyson, and I was actually able to become a multi-millionaire at the age of 24 using this exact same YouTube income system. But more importantly than that, I've been able to teach hundreds of normal, everyday people how they can copy and paste this exact same thing. Students like Andrew, Michelle, Aurora, Gary, the list goes on and on. People that didn't have a ton of previous technical experience, people that had never tried making money online before, and most importantly, people that didn't have tens of thousands of dollars in their savings accounts to throw at some risky business model. No, these are all normal, everyday people that...
Artificial intelligence is already making a place for itself in this quantum-powered future. And what's more, AI can now enhance images without even looking at the original picture. It does this using only the results of brain scans from MRIs. Tristan Harris and Aza Raskin recently brought attention to this. They shared a new video called The AI Dilemma, following their Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma.
And they taught the AI, I want you to translate from readings of the fMRI, so how blood is moving around in your brain, to the image. Can we reconstruct the image then? The AI then only looks at the brain, does not get to see the original image, and it's asked to reconstruct what it sees.
The research reveals some concerning data. For instance, half of AI researchers think there's at least a 10% chance that humans could become extinct because we might not be able to control AI. The cause for this concern is the latest data showing that AI's capabilities continue to double every few months. What is horrifying is the prediction that by 2045, AI could reach the point of singularity. This means it will match the combined capabilities of all human brains. Could our rapid advancement in quantum computing be contributing to this? Some people are concerned about this possibility. It is the worry that AI will eventually develop human-like consciousness, and like something out of a movie, turn against us. Even Elon Musk has shared some of these concerns.
I'm really quite close to the cutting edge in AI, and the rate of improvement is exponential. It scares the hell out of me.
What Elon's talking about sounds a lot like what happens in the movie Ex Machina. This movie tells the story of a beautiful AI-powered robot that ends up killing its creator.
And getting loose and leaving that dude locked in the fucking house.
Interestingly, Ex Machina is derived from the phrase Deus Ex Machina, a Latin expression that means God out of the machine. In the movie title, the word Deus is dropped. It seems to suggest that in the world of...
Not chilling in the studio, trying to just work on his painting. What are you doing?
Chilling outside.
Oh, it's a nice day out today.
Yeah. You got work today, right?
Yeah, I was at work.
Yeah. How was that?
It was pretty normal. I don't know. Somebody gave me a project to do. They want me to make like a brochure or like a little booklet for this this event that's coming up, but it needs to be printed by Friday. They just gave it to me today, and I was like, "Oh, can you get this done?" I'm like, I guess. I was like, "When you need it?" "Oh, we need it by Friday morning, because it has to get printed on Friday." And I'm like, "Well, where's all the stuff at?" And so they started sending me stuff they want in the brochure, and then I got most of it done, and then somebody else was supposed to send me like some more information to put in it, and they weren't even in the office. And I called him, and then he came back, and he was like, "Oh, I just got back in the office. I didn't get a chance to get to it yet, but I'll have it for you tomorrow." But then tomorrow I got to do the prison program, and I got to do the after school program. So I'm not even going to be in the office all day tomorrow, and I need to be prepared for all the other shit I got to have done. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll have this thing done in time for him. But other than that, like, what's the thing? time is it? It's almost 5:30. I may start wrapping it up here shortly. Go ahead and go downstairs and do something else. Oh, hello? Damn, I dropped the call. Oh no, how'd that happen?
Hello?
Yeah, I don't know, that might have been my phone dropped the call just now.
Yeah.
I got terrible ass reception when I be upstairs in the studio.
Yeah. What you working on in the studio?
I've been still working on this same paint, and I'm really trying my hardest to get this one done. Like I say, I got that show in December. I know I'll have it done, but I was hoping I'll have enough time to do like one more painting. But if I don't get this one finished in like a week or so, I ain't gonna have time enough to finish another one. We'll see. I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been kind of procrastinating on it a little bit. The past couple weeks, I've been playing a lot more video games than painting, honestly. But I'm just trying to put as many hours in on this painting this week as I can, and then hopefully this weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, I can hit it pretty hard too, because I ain't gonna have no real chores. I cut the grass this past weekend, so I ain't gonna have to do that. And I went grocery shopping, so I ain't had to do that. So honestly, like this weekend, I don't think I'll have to leave the house if I don't want to, but I'll probably just sit in the studio most of the weekend and try to get as much of this stuff done as possible.
My mom called me. I would definitely make sure I give you a call later, though.
All right, I'll talk to you later on.
All right, see you later.
All right.
There's no need for a divine role when humans can create conscious machines. And this brings us to the Turing test, aka the imitation game. This is a simple game involving 3 participants. The aim is to see if a machine can convincingly mimic a human. The game comes from Turing's paper entitled Computing Machinery and Intelligence. This paper laid the groundwork for artificial intelligence. Turing's fundamental question was, can machines think? And by thinking, he didn't mean simply calculating or executing tasks like modern computers. He meant genuinely thinking like humans do. This question, in essence, is philosophical rather than technical, because there's one key difference between humans and machines, and that difference is consciousness. Consciousness has sparked endless debates among scientists and philosophers alike. Is it a part of the brain, or does it exist independently? Generally, there are 2 viewpoints on this: dualism and materialism. Dualism believes that consciousness is separate from our physical selves, which often referred to as the soul or spirit. Materialism, on the other hand, refutes the existence of a soul or spirit. According to materialism, consciousness is purely a mechanism of the brain. Since our brain operates like a complex machine, the natural question is, can we build a machine that thinks like a human? And this is the crux of Turing's question. The challenging part is determining if a machine possesses consciousness and therefore can actually think. This is where Turing proposed a test. It's a straightforward game that involves 3 participants, A, B, and C. A is a man, B is a woman, and C could be a man or a woman. The game's rules are pretty straightforward. C has to figure out which of A and B is the man and which is the woman. But there's a catch. C can't see A and B because they're separated by a wall. But to make the correct guess, C can ask questions, which A and B responds in writing. Now here's where it gets interesting. The man A has to pretend to be a woman to try to fool C. On the other hand, B must tell the truth. If C ends up being tricked and can't correctly identify the man and the woman, then the test is deemed a success. But let's take it a step further. Turing imagined a scenario where a computer took the place of A. If this computer could convincingly act like a woman, just as the man did, to the point where C couldn't tell the difference between the man and the woman, then this computer would be considered a thinking machine. And this is the basis of the original Turing test. Ever since Turing's proposition, programmers worldwide have been in a race to create AI. Oftentimes, the Turing test is used as a benchmark to gauge their intelligence level. But here's the million-dollar question. Can this test also detect the consciousness that a machine might possess? This question becomes especially intriguing when we talk about machines powered by mighty quantum computers. And so, the question remains, what will be the outcome when AI and quantum computers join forces?
Are you interested in starting your own faceless YouTube automation channel, but all people do is tell you to go to Fiverr and Upwork and hire people to make rain sound videos, motivation videos, and all this other useless crap that just doesn't work? And all you want is someone to level with you and show you exactly what you actually need to do to build a highly profitable faceless YouTube channel that runs on autopilot. If that's you, you're going to want to check this out.
Physicist Michio Kaku has recently shared his perspective on the crossroads of quantum computing and AI, particularly large language models like GPT-4 and Google Bard. Now, these AIs are essentially software programs that pull data from all corners of the internet to generate outputs. They've gotten really good at giving accurate answers to a variety of questions, from diagnosing diseases based on symptoms to passing legal bar exams.
The chatbots that are a revolution in software, and then quantum computers, which are a revolution in hardware, when they get together, watch out. So we're talking about an extremely powerful alliance between software and hardware.
But Professor Kaku points out a limitation, that these programs struggle to discern what's true or accurate.
There is no fact checker for chatbots. That is the whole ball of wax. That's the reason why they're so dangerous. They don't know what is correct, what is incorrect. It's all the same to them.
There's a key worry he raised. It's the risk of AI tools adopting false or inaccurate data into their responses. Since these programs pull information from so many different places, they might accidentally include nonsensical content. And because they can't tell accurate info from incorrect, they might unintentionally spread falsehoods. And this leaves us with a challenge. So how can we trust the reliability of the information presented by AI? Here's where quantum computers could be a game changer. These devices have the capacity to function as fact checkers. They'll filter through enormous volumes of data and weeding out inaccurate content. By employing quantum computing, we could verify the accuracy of statements and distinguish between partially true, partially false, and perhaps misleading information. This could lead to a more nuanced grasp of the content churned out by large language models.
With a quantum computer, you can fact check things, and then you can say this is 90% correct, and you get gradations of what is correct and incorrect.
But throwing quantum computing into the fact-checking mix raises a vital question. It is about who holds the reins of information, and who gets to decide what's real or true. And in the end, we need to set up impartial mechanisms to ensure the integrity of information put forward by AI. As Professor Kaku suggested, quantum computers could make AI more reliable. In the final segment of this video, we're going to delve into some predictions concerning the future use of quantum computing and artificial intelligence. These predictions might not always be accurate, but they are essential to embody our collective ambitions for the future. So even though they may appear impossible, they carry a real possibility of becoming reality. We will present 3 of those potential predictions today. First up on our list of predictions, we're talking about NASA's outer space exploration. The forecast is that, with quantum computing and powerful artificial intelligence, NASA will discover Earth-like planets, with comparable atmospheres and the presence of water. This could spark serious discussions about how to reach such a planet. Machines like the D-Wave quantum system will be crucial in these efforts. This machine now operates with over 7,000 qubits and 20-way connectivity, which significantly improves the accuracy of space exploration. In fact, it's already being utilized by Dr. Rupak Biswas and his team at NASA. And this year alone, NASA reported the discovery of a new planet, nearly the same size as Earth. It's called TOI 700e. This planet orbits within the habitable zone of its star, or its Goldilocks zone. And so with the progression of quantum computing, there's a strong chance that NASA could eventually find a way to reach it, or perhaps discover another, even more Earth-like planets closer to us. Next up on the future predictions is that scientists believe that the business of quantum computing will become increasingly important. Quantum computers are tough to handle, leading many companies to choose cloud-based quantum computing for specialized tasks. This development opens up plenty of business opportunities. Take IBM as an example. They offer a service called Qiskit Runtime, which allows users to build and quickly run powerful algorithms. The final and most significant prediction is that we stand on the verge of a technological and societal revolution. We're fast approaching the day when the machines we create will outperform us in every way, not just in calculations or searches, but in every aspect of intelligence. It's projected that within 15 years, such machines will surpass human capabilities in all areas. So what does such a future hold for us? And how will these tech advancements redefine our place in the world? In this era of rapid technological evolution, only one thing is certain, that our journey is just beginning.
Hurry, Pella Window Replacement is on sale now. Visit PellaReplacement.com to learn more.
Hole is a mirror. And the way it's a mirror is if light, a photon, bounces off your face towards the black hole, and it goes straight to the black hole, just falls in, you never see it again.
Mm-hmm.
But if it just misses the black hole, swing around the back and come back to you.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Photon that went around the back of the black hole. But not only can that happen, black hole, the photon can swing around twice. So you actually see an infinite number of copies.
The following is a conversation with Andrew Strominger, theoretical physicist at Harvard, whose research seeks to shed light on the unification of fundamental laws of nature, the origin of the universe, and the quantum structure of black holes and event horizons. This is the Lex Fridman podcast. To support it, please check out our sponsors in the description. And now, dear friends, here's Andrew Strominger. You are part of the Harvard Black Hole Initiative, which has theoretical physicists, experimentalists, and even philosophers. So let me ask the big question. What is a black hole from a theoretical, from an experimental, maybe even from a philosophical perspective?
So a black hole is defined, theoretically, as a region of space-time which light can never escape, therefore it's black. Now, that's just the starting point. Many weird things follow from that basic definition, but that is the basic definition.
What is light? It can't escape from a black hole.
Well, light is, the stuff that comes out of the sun, the stuff that goes into your eyes. Light is one of the stuff that disappears when the lights go off, the stuff that appears when the lights come on.
Yeah.
Of course, I could give you a mathematical definition, but or physical mathematical definition, but I think it's something that we all understand very intuitively. What is light? Black holes, on the other hand, we don't understand intuitively. They're very weird. And one of the questions is about black holes, which I think you were alluding to, is, why doesn't light get out? Or how is it that there can be a region of space-time from which light can't escape? It definitely happens, those regions. We have spectacular pictures, especially in the last several years, of those regions. They're there. They're up in the sky, thousands or millions of them. Yet know how many. But the proper explanation of a light doesn't escape from coal is still a matter of some debate. And explanation, perhaps Einstein might have given, is that light carries energy. You know it carries energy because, we have photocells, and we can take the light from the sun and collect it, turn it into electricity. So there's energy in light. And anything that carries energy is subject to a gravitational pull. Gravity will pull at anything with energy. Now, it turns out that the gravitational pull exerted by an object is proportional to its mass. And so if you get enough mass in all enough region, you can prevent light from escaping. And let me flesh that out a little more. If you're Earth and you're on a rocket ship leaving the Earth, and if we ignore the friction from the air, rocket accelerates up to 11 kilometers per second. That's escape velocity. And it can, if there were no friction, it could just continue forever to the next galaxy. On the moon, which has less mass, it's only 7 kilometers. So, but going in the other direction, if you have enough mass in one place, the escape velocity can become the speed of light. If you shine light straight up away from the Earth, it doesn't have too much trouble. It's going way above the escape velocity. And, but if you have enough mass there, even light can't escape the escape velocity. And according to Einstein's theory of relativity, there is an absolute speed limit in the universe, the speed of light, and nothing makes any sense. Nothing could be self-consistent if there were objects that could exceed speed. And so in these very, very massive regions of space-time, even light cannot escape.
And the interesting thing is Einstein himself didn't think that these objects, we call the black holes, could exist. But let me actually linger on this.
Yeah, that's incredibly interesting. Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting things here. First of all, the speed limit. How wild is it to you, if you put yourself in the time of Einstein before him, to come up with a speed limit of that there is a speed limit, and that speed limit is the speed of light? How difficult of an idea is that? Isn't it? You said from a mathematical physics perspective, everything just kind of falls into place, but he wasn't. Maybe initially had the luxury to think mathematically. He had to come up with it intuitively. Yes. So how counterintuitive is this notion to you?
Well,
is it still crazy?
No. So it's a very funny thing in physics. The best discoveries seem completely obvious in retrospect.
Yeah.
Even my own discoveries, which of course are far lesser than Einstein's, but many of my papers, many of my collaborators get all confused. We'll try to understand something. We'll say, we've got to solve this problem. We'll get all confused. Finally, we'll solve it. We'll get it all together. And then everything will fall into place. We'll explain it. And then we'll look back at our discussions for the preceding months and literally be unable to reconstruct confused we were, and how we could ever have thought of it. And so not only can I not fathom how confused I was, or when he started thinking about the issues, I can't even reconstruct my own confusion from 2 weeks ago. So the really beautiful ideas of physics have this very hard to get yourself back into the mindset. Of course, Einstein was confused about many, many things. Doesn't matter if you're a physicist. It's not how many things you got wrong. It's not the ratio of how many you got wrong, how many you got right. It's the number that you got right. So Einstein didn't believe black holes existed. He predicted them. And I went and I read that paper, which he wrote. Einstein wrote down his field equations in 1915, and Schwarzschild them and discovered the black hole solution 3 or 4 months later, in very early 1916. And
All right. Peace. Until next time.